Hello everybody, welcome back to E20 Zone TV. It's Friday, the weekend is here. West Ham are playing tomorrow. West Ham are going to Napa, and I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks. I'm joined tomorrow right by Tommy. Tommy, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing well, mate, thanks, yeah.
Good, mate, good. What do you think of the draw today before we get started?
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I thought I wanted kind of one or two things, either something really tasty, like Lazio or Fiorentina, nice tasty tie against an Italian side, something to kind of get excited about. But I figured if that wasn't going to happen, then I wanted the worst team, lowest ranked team in the draw, and that's what we got really. Lernica away first leg. Over the two legs, it should be pretty straightforward, to be honest.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, mate. And I think it's perfect for us. If we could sort of get our Premier League form back on track, then we can take care of business on there, and basically we ain't going to lose out on that competition. But let's talk about it. Nottingham Forest are here tomorrow. Attack or the sack for Moyes. What do you reckon tomorrow, Tommy? Because we need a win.
Yeah, we do need a win. And this, again, is kind of much like the Everton game. I think this could be a game that comes along just at the time when Moyes needs it most. But I think Forest are the only team in the Premier League that have been worse than us away from home this season. Albeit, I think it's only on goal difference. But yeah, they've really struggled on the road. I think they've only scored about 3 goals away from home all season. So they're having a terrible time of it. They cannot score whatsoever away from home. Really struggling. It's their home form that's kind of keeping them afloat. So yeah, maybe a tie, I think, that's coming at the right time for Moyes. Plus, everyone's in training. Not everyone's match fit, but everyone is available to him. So he's got a full squad to choose from, which will obviously help as well. So yeah, I think this could be the kind of second get out of jail free card for Moyes tomorrow if he obviously gets it right. We don't have another disaster, but yeah, this is kind of Everton take 2, I think, really.
For me, I agree. I want to see attacking football. There is no excuses tomorrow. They're all fit. Well, it's reported that they're all back. Like Cornet's there, Zuma's there. Everyone's there. There is no excuses why West Ham can't attack this team at home and dominate this game and win it. Do you know what I'm saying? How do you think he's going to go tomorrow in regards of him setting up?
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see. I mean, obviously, recently he's been playing with 3 centre backs and wing backs. He got 2 positive, what he would see as very positive results doing that, which was away at Newcastle and at home to Chelsea, where he picked up points. But obviously, last week away to Tottenham, it was a complete disaster, especially second half. We really didn't lay a glove on Tottenham. So whether or not he'll persist with that formation, I don't know. I would like to think at home to Forest that he'd be comfortable going back to a flat back 4 and get more attacking players on the pitch. It would be astonishing if he doesn't do that. I mean, there's just no excuse for having 2 attacking players on the pitch at home to Forest tomorrow. Absolutely no excuse for it. And I think if he does that, he's really playing with fire and could find himself getting sacked for it. Because Forest on the road are not a team that you should fear. And like I say, when we've got everyone available, we can put out a very strong team. This is a team we should be getting after and beating, to be completely honest. And he's got to look at it that way. I mean, if he comes out, with wing backs and 3 centre backs and 3 defensively minded midfielders like he did away to Tottenham, he'll deserve whatever comes his way, frankly. So, but I don't think he will for some reason. For some reason, I think tomorrow he'll play a different formation. I think he'll play a flat back 4. He might go back to 4-2-3-1. He might play a 4-3-3.
Yeah,
I think he'll play something like that tomorrow. Is my gut feeling.
Something's got to change there, mate. I will say that. So we'll get to a few comments quickly. James says, "Great channel, James. Watching you live from Cyprus. We will smash Larsener. Is it Larsener or Lartner or it is
Lernica.
or Larnaca? That's the one. Let's put it this way. Right? Iron Napa's going to be a smashing time for all the lads and lassies who are going over there on that week. I must admit. Listen, I appreciate all the comments. I really do. For me, I look at it on tomorrow that we attack, we win. Simple as that. I think we had so many chances against them at the start of the season, and we just couldn't put the ball in the net. I think if we can score first tomorrow, then I think that they are there. If we concede first tomorrow, then I'm worried. How do you think that will go tomorrow if we go 1-0 down?
I think the atmosphere in the crowd's gonna get a bit thick. Especially, if we start slowly, which we've had a nasty habit of doing, then and we go one down, then you're going to start hearing the groans. Especially, first half, like if we're 1-0 down at the break or something, you're going to hear and not playing well, you're going to hear the chorus of boos at half time and all that stuff, and that's going to make it difficult, really, a difficult atmosphere and difficult situation. Plus, I think the players need. I think it's important that Moyes changes it up for the players as much as anyone, because
Carry on.
I think, and from what we heard from Declan Rice after the Tottenham game, I think the players are fed up with the way Moyes is approaching games tactically, the way he's setting up. I think the players are fed up with it. So I think if he approaches the game tomorrow in the same way, I think it would be very, very difficult to get any kind of performance out of the players. I just don't think they believe in it whatsoever. So I think for him to get the players on side, he has to switch it up and show more attacking intent. And I think the players then will buy into that. And then I think there's a much better chance that we get a performance and avoid the kind of situation you're talking about. So my worry is that if he does the same thing, we very well could find ourselves in that same situation, or that we just kind of end up with this horrible 0-0 that does nothing for anyone. So that's the fear. But like I say, hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But the atmosphere will turn very quickly if we're dog shit tomorrow again.
Yeah, I agree, mate. True Cockney, how did your dog get on last week? Funny enough, you say that, True Cockney. It's running tonight. Come third last week, gutted. Didn't get out. He did get out, but it's got done towards the back end of the race. But it's running again tonight, a few minutes short of 8 o'clock. So anyone who likes their greyhound racing, Rancho's the boy for you. I agree. I will move on to another subject in a minute. But as you just said, if it does go bad, the crowd will turn. And for me, that's how that's not good. So I get to this. Will Moyes be sacked with a loss, Tommy?
I know the reports are that if we lose, he's gone. And that could well be the case. I'm just not convinced at the moment that he'll be sacked. He probably will.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what we've been hearing. But I think Sullivan is desperate to not have to do that. So whether he would pull the trigger, because we started hearing the excuses then, kind of later in the week of, there's no one really there that we have lined up who could actually replace him. They were saying that they'd put the feelers out to Benitez and to who was the other one, Bielsa, but they both wanted 3.5-year deals, and the board weren't kind of willing to go there. And so there's been a kind of a mixed message. On the one hand, saying if he loses against Forest, he'll get sacked, and on the other hand, another leak saying that we don't really have anyone who can come in and replace him, even if we do sack him. So things are really up in the air at the moment.
Very easy excuse, though, isn't it, Tommy? To keep turning around and saying there's no one there who's available. There's loads of managers available. It's whether or not West Ham are going to pay the money for him. That's the problem. Let's
They
be.
could go. They could go. Like, you can't tell me they couldn't go and get Postecoglou at Celtic in a day. They could.
Mm,
They
yeah.
could get him in a heartbeat. Like that, we could have Postecoglou.
I agree.
You know,
I,
a lot of
I,
people like him. I mean, I like the way I like his style of play. I like him as a person, as a character. I've always liked what he's had to say. So don't tell me there's nobody around. It's just Sullivan just as clueless when it comes to hiring managers, unfortunately.
if the worst case scenario happens tomorrow, and I'm sitting here tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, doing an afterthought, and we've lost the game, surely he has to go. He has to.
Yeah.
Surely people can't defend that tomorrow night. Like, if we've got a fully fit squad, fully fit, all players are there, right? And what people are going to say is, Cornet's not match fit, Zuma's not match fit, Skamaka's not match fit. Well, we need a match fit because we're in a fight at the minute for survival. So we need him on the pitch. If he's still here, then for me, I am deeply concerned. Really am. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's hard to justify that he's in the job as it is. Still, it would be impossible, really, to justify him still being in the job beyond tomorrow. For me, if he doesn't win, whatever, never mind losing. To me, I mean, if we get a shitty 0-0 or something, or 1-1 against Forest tomorrow, I mean,
That
that's
draw's
not
not
good
good
enough.
enough.
If we can't win them games, we're not surviving. Because those are the games we're going to have to win between now and the end of the season to have any chance. So if
I
he
agree.
can't win that, he's got to go. He just has to. There's no excuse to not do it. And no matter what the board say about we don't have any immediate replacement, I mean, at that point you're better off just chucking fucking someone else in temporarily into the job.
Yeah, I actually
Can't
agree.
get any worse.
Yeah, I know. I really do. I think tomorrow is sort of make or break. But then if he does lose tomorrow, I still don't think he goes, mate. I've got no faith in this board sacking him. But then, like, someone said it on Twitter during the week about the situation with West Ham. They said, on the one hand, we've got a manager that we don't trust, and on the other hand, we're going to try and go and get a manager that we hope keeps us in the league. And I basically turned around and said that we're in a situation with no real possible solution. If West Ham was to go out and pay the money and say, go and get a Pochettino, now Pochettino's been linked. We all know it's all bollocks. We all know it. Like, we're not silly. So for me, I look at it like this. West Ham should be proactive now. Like, if we lose tomorrow against Forest, he should be gone. There's no way that he can come back from this, right? Because there is no excuses. I look at some of these interviews. I don't know about you, Tommy, but I feel he's becoming very arrogant in the way he's approaching things. And some fans, not everyone, but some fans are looking at this and going, "This is more about David Moyes than West Ham." And I take massive offence to that, because West Ham lives forever in all of our hearts and like all of our generations. David Moyes is just an employee. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, I'm concerned. I will say that. Right, let's move on to Forest. Let's talk a bit about Forest, because I am surprised. Forest's strengths and weaknesses, Tommy. I must admit, I done a space at the start of the season when we played them. I had loads of Forest fans coming at me online. Lucas. I've still got one on my Twitter feed now who's literally constantly like messaging me saying, "How you getting on?" and fucking literally bantering me all the way through the season. What are Forest's strengths and weaknesses for you, Tommy?
Well, the weaknesses at the moment is they've got a number of injuries.
Yeah.
They've got quite a lengthy injury list, so they're not going to be able to put out their best possible team. Also, their away record, as I mentioned earlier, is a weakness. They're very poor away from home. Only scored 3 goals on the road all season. They've really struggled with that. So those are weaknesses for them. They have been all season, really. The strengths, I think, for them is that they're much more cohesive now than they were in the first half of the season. I think before the World Cup, they were really struggling. They'd bought so many players that they were trying to, Cooper was trying to integrate them all and figure out what his best formation was with those players and what his best 11 was. And he just wasn't sure. There was a lot of chopping and changing, and they were a little bit all over the place. But they seem to have settled down now a bit, and he seems to have a much better idea about who his key players are and what his best. I think he's whittled it down probably to a best 15 or 16 now from 30 previously. So they're starting to look much more cohesive now, and their performances are kind of reflecting that. Not on the road yet, but certainly at home. They're difficult to beat at the City Ground, and they do have some very good players in there. I mean, Gibbs White, is having a tremendous season for them. He was a great pickup, really good player. And Brennan Johnson up front, is showing a bit of form as well and stuff. So they're much better organised now. So they won't be easy to beat tomorrow. Make no mistake, they will not be easy to beat. They're highly motivated. They're well organised.
Got some players, though, haven't they, that love scoring a goal against us. It's a bit like that.
Yeah.
Chris Wood. Was it John Joe Shelby? John Joe Shelby one just like angers me because I look at him and I think, you just know he's going to turn up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because considering he's from up the road here in Collier Road, so
he's a West Ham fan. So
West Ham fan. So go on, Tommy.
So those are kind of the basic strengths and weaknesses of Forest going into tomorrow.
Yeah. For me, I agree. I look at their weaknesses. Their defence is crippled. That's one thing I will say. And if West Ham can't get through this defence, then we need to give up. We really, really do. They had Felipe at the back with someone else. I can't remember who it was last week. Their attack's good, though. I will say that. Morgan Gibbs White is a talent. Really is. How they picked him up from Wolves is a good bit of business. A lot of money, mind. I will say that. But I will say one thing. Decent player. Brennan Johnson. I've liked Brennan Johnson for the last 18 months. I've been calling it on this channel for a long time. When he was in the Championship, I said West Ham should go out and get him and Keane Lewis Potter, and they're both in the Premier League now. So I am fearing tomorrow because I do look at Chris Wood. Chris Wood's going to be in Zuma's head. I remember it last year when Chris Wood was playing for Newcastle and we had the whole cat gate thing. And Chris Wood was literally like winding Zuma up the whole game. And Craig Dawson had to turn around and say to the referee about it that it's not right. So tomorrow, we've got to stop him. Our defence have got to be rock solid on that. Shelby is a pain in the arse, though. That's one thing I will say. He's one player who always seems to turn up against West Ham. Even when he was playing for Newcastle, he used to turn up. And then I look at their sort of defence. Obviously, they've got Sergio Aurier who can be got at. Right, their defence can be got at. They've got a decent keeper in Neves and all. So you've got to respect him for what he's done.
Yeah, Neves. Neves earned him a point against City last week. He was brilliant.
He was good, I must admit. Very, very good. Right, let's get to this, Tommy. Let's have a look what we got. Let's go to... I'll tell you what, we'll go to predictions and we'll have a chat about different things. Let's go to predictions then, Tommy. Give us your prediction for tomorrow.
Yeah, again, as I said earlier, I think this is the right game at the right time for Moyes, just in time to save his bacon again. Given their away record, their paucity of goals on the road, plus the fact I think Moyes will switch up the formation and will have more attacking players on the pitch than he has had recently. Plus actual goal scorers at his disposal. I think Ings will start. I think we'll see Scamacca. I think we'll see Cornet. Paqueta possibly. We don't know. I think Moyes was talking today like Paqueta's not going to be available to start, but I think there might be a little smoke and mirrors going on there.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think Paqueta's going to play. So I think if I'm right and we get a change of formation and we're a bit more attacking with Forest struggles on the road, particularly their inability to score, I think this is a game even if it's not, even if we don't look great. I still think there's a good chance for us to nick this one. So yeah, I want to say I'm positive as regards. I think we might get a result tomorrow, but as to how well we'll play getting it, I don't know. But yeah, I think we'll nick it. Actually, I do think we'll take 3 points. I won't be surprised in the least if it's a draw. I really won't. If this turned up 0-0, would not surprise me whatsoever. But I just, like I say, I have a sneaking suspicion Moyes will change it up a bit and go a bit more attacking. And I think that might pay dividends for him just about. So I'm thinking, we'll nick it kind of like a 1-0 or something like that.
Eamon brings up a good point before I give my prediction. Question is, can we score 2 goals? Because we know we won't start playing until Forest score first, sorry. And Mitch is working, mate. For me, I think this is a banker draw, mate. If I'm being honest. If you want me to be real. I think if he goes 5 at the back or 3-4-3, West Ham are drawing this game. I want to see 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. I want us to attack this team. If West Ham set up 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, we win this game. It's as simple as that. I think we blow them out the water with the attacking power. I think if we try and play this possession-based game or like trying and literally suffocate the ball, I don't think it's going to work. Forest don't have to come forward. Forest will be happy with a point. So for me, if I do see 3 centre halves at the back, wing backs, and all that game, I personally, I just see a draw, mate. I don't think we'll lose the game. I can't see us scoring 2 goals to win it. I think Forest could score a goal in this game easily, like especially the way we are with 5 at the back. So I am going to go for a draw because I think Moyes is going to set up 3-4-3. I want to be positive and say West Ham are going to win, but how can we at the minute? Yeah. Honestly, if we,
I think the smart money is on a draw. I'm kind of talking about my gut feeling here, given their away record, and that I suspect Moyes will go more positive. I think if he does, then I think we will possibly nick it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to do something tomorrow. Like I'll keep saying it every week. Me and you have done this sort of previews every single week, right, religiously, and we say the same thing. We want to see something. Like after last week's performance, I was so angry. Whether or not it was because it was Spurs, I don't know. But I looked at us last week and I thought, was we really any good? Did we look like scoring a goal? Really? This week we have to look the part. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get to this.
I think a lot of it was because of Tottenham. That's a big game for us fans. That's an important one. We don't like losing to them, and there's nothing we love more than beating them, especially at their place. And for us to play such a tepid game and just to not lay a glove on a vulnerable Tottenham team. For us to not lay a glove on them was absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, listen, I really do, and I do hope Lingard. I just see it there. It's just West Ham's luck if Lingard will score. I think he's injured. I think he's out. So, do you know what I'm saying? I will get to this. Is Mitch on his date? It was funny last night. I done a little show last night with the lads. Go back and watch it. It was anything goes because I want people to understand that we're not just West Ham fans. We are human. We all do have a laugh. And Mitch was talking about his date or dates that he's going on. So, yeah, go over and check that out. That was from last night. I agree. I just need to see something tomorrow, Tommy. Like I need to see if West Ham get out the traps early and score a couple of goals. But it has to be a full package tomorrow. Like it has to be a performance that we deserve to win. Goals, attacking threat. It has to be everything, really. Do you know what I'm saying?
It does because if we go out and we don't play well, and it's a horrible game, and we just nick a goal and win it 1-0, obviously we'll all be agreeing that the 3 points are welcome and they're helpful. But it's not going to make us feel. But we're looking at the fixtures going ahead. we're going to think, oh, Christ almighty, that fucking tepid, horrible 1-0 win has kept him in a job. And now we've got to go to Brighton. We entertain Villa. We go to City. It's like we're getting fucking nothing from the next few games. We're going to end up right back where we started before this game. And it's all too predictable. So if we're going to win this game, like you said, I want to see us properly win this game. I want to see us go out and play really well and be the better team and go out and stick 2 or 3 past this lot and beat them well. Give us something to say.
Agree.
Give us something to hang our hats on. You know what I mean? To say, all right, this looks much better. You know, maybe we've got a freaking chance, a real chance now. You know, we can go and turn over Brighton away from home next week. You know, with everybody back fit. You know, a really, really strong starting 11. You know, whatever about tomorrow. Like when we go to Brighton next week, we're going to have a bloody good starting 11. Like really good players, like on the pitch. Everybody fit. You know, like this is when, like you say, there's nowhere left for Moyes to hide. No, he can't make any excuses about injuries and all that shit going forward. So let's see it now. Let's see what you can do when you've got everyone available.
I agree. I really, really do, mate. Moyes needs to turn up tomorrow, and the players, not just him, and the players and all. The players have got a duty of care to every West Ham fan around this planet, so they need to perform
but equally,
tomorrow.
I agree completely agree. But Moyes has to give the players something to hang their hat on too. He has to show them a switch up, and say, right, no more of this sitting back shit and you know this tepid stuff and having 2 attackers.
He has to take the handbrake off Tommy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to say to the players, right, we're going out now and we're getting after Forest. We're getting after Forest. We're going at them. We're going to get on top. We're going to smother them, and we're going to fucking beat them into submission, and we're going to score 2 or 3 goals along the way doing it. I think the players will respond to that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Moving on from that, what did you make of Mr. David Sullivan saying about the football? Was it regulator? Is it? I say he come out with. I see that yesterday. What do you make of that, Tommy?
Yeah, he's dead set against it. Obviously, look, nobody wants regulation if they can avoid it, right? It's like turkeys voting for Christmas, you know. So
that's right.
The football clubs aren't going to be saying, yeah, absolutely, more regulations, get a regulator in to keep a very, very close eye on everything we're doing. Absolutely. Of course, they're not going to say that. And so, you know, Sullivan came out with this kind of rubbish about, oh, the government does everything badly and all this stuff. And well, there's some front, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, it's got some front. Couple out of that.
Yeah, I know. He's pot meat kettle. Yeah. But look, it's. I think that's going to be the line you're going to get in general from Premier League owners and stuff. So no surprise, but yeah, I think we all saw the irony in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so do I, mate. I was like, I looked at it. Do you know what? I usually comment on things like that, especially when it comes to Sullivan, because I've got a very much hatred for that man. Dislike that man a lot. But I just looked at it. I had to laugh. I just laughed at it. I thought, like, he got some front. Geezer, I'll give him that. The way he carries on, the sooner he's at the door, the better. A few more things, Tommy.
I think you know, he's a short man. I think half of his height is neck.
Yeah, totally agree. Declan Rice. I keep hearing that he could be going to Arsenal. I see something earlier on Twitter today. I done a space during the week, and there was a woman. I will call her a woman. She come on. Young girl, and she said that basically she can't stand Declan Rice. Literally cannot stand it. The way he's carried on, he wants to move out and everything. And it comes out today that he's looking for a move to Arsenal. Is that a worry that some of our top players are getting tapped up mid-season when we're in a battle to stay in the league?
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are around like tapping up. What is or isn't tapping up and stuff, but. I mean, if you're hearing reports about, you know, some kind of gentleman's agreement that they're giving 200k a week, that's bizarre. It's like, no, I don't know what the rule is like on who can or can't contact a player's agent and when they can or can't do it, what they can or can't talk about or agree upon while they're.
Is it influenced though, Tommy? Is it like, how can I put this? Is it like being influenced by an agent? Because what it is, you're being influenced to move there, ain't you?
Yeah, I mean, his agent's his dad, isn't it? So I think
Yeah.
his dad and his brother like act on his behalf or whatever. But no, look, I don't think it'll affect Declan's performances or anything like that.
Mm,
I think he'll still come out and give everything till the end of the season. He'll want us to survive. Dec's not going to want to see us go down. I think he'd be very upset if we got relegated. I really do. And he's going to be desperate for us to go and win a trophy. He'd love to win the Conference League, before he leaves and stuff. So I don't think it's going to affect him on the pitch.
mm,
I just think from the legality side of it, I mean, I don't understand why this needs to be happening now, and it shouldn't be happening now. We're in the
yeah.
middle of coming into like a very busy and important part of our season that'll make or break our season. And it's like,
Mm,
I'd be saying to Deck personally, I know he'd probably never hear this, but if it was me, I'd be saying to him, mate, can you not shelve that shit until the end of the season? And,
mm.
let's put all the concentration on what we need to be doing, for West Ham for the rest of the season. But you're going to get plenty of chance at the end of the season to be deciding where you want to go.
Because
Or
what it is though, Tommy, it seems like it will put more pressure on Deck's shoulders than there already is now. Like, let's be honest, Deck's what, 24? He's the captain of West Ham, which is a big thing for all of us. It's a big thing for him, obviously. Then you've got this coming out about 200 grand a week going to Arsenal. Arsenal are all buzzing. We're on the down a bit because let's be honest, what is there really to chat about at West Ham at present? And like, could it affect his performances? Like, Declan Rice is undroppable. Let's be honest, like, he's undroppable. He's one of he's our best player. But the worry I have with it is that when it gets to a stage where his head is like his head's just not in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
uh, do you know? Honestly, I understand what you're saying. I understand the worry, and I personally would prefer that he just shelve all that stuff. Now, look, those reports
Yeah.
could be bullshit as well at the same time. You know what I mean? He
Mm,
might not be talking to Arsenal. He might not have any gentleman's agreement for anything. Declan might not have. I doubt he's decided where he's going to go yet. I would be very
mm.
surprised if he's going to agree to join any club at this point in February. Like,
But I think,
because
wouldn't you agree though that he would have to say something to some people to say about his availability? Like, he would have to tell, like, for instance, Man City come in and say, right, we're looking at you and another player. Are you interested in coming to our club in the
he'd probably
summer?
tell them yes as well.
Yeah, yeah, I
You
know what you're
know,
saying.
he'd probably tell them yes as well. He'd be saying, look, obviously,
Yeah,
I haven't decided all this stuff. I'm still playing with West Ham, and obviously once the season's over, that's when, things will be done. And it's not just, he can't give a gentleman's agreement to Arsenal anyway, because Arsenal might not stump up the cash that we want for him. Like,
mm,
Arsenal could come in with a bid that's not good enough for us, and we say no, bid declined. So what's Declan going to do? You can't
mm,
force a move to Arsenal if we can't agree terms with them. If they don't stump up what we need to get out of them for, and maybe, like I say, maybe Liverpool come along then and say we'll stump it. We want him that bad. We'll pay it, and then we maybe accept a bid from Liverpool.
mm.
So I don't know. This all seems a bit weird to me. I'd be very surprised if Declan Rice had made any verbal agreement to join anybody at this stage of the season.
Do you think though, Tommy? Yeah, that in one way it's going to be sad when he goes. Don't get me wrong, it will be. Like, as West, like, I'll say it for myself. I'll be gutted when he goes. I can understand him leaving. Like, I really can. But in one way, I'll be glad that it's over because it's just
Yeah,
been like this for the last sort of 2 years. Like, of him being linked to moves every summer, every transfer window going. Like, it's getting tiring now. It's like
yeah, and then you've
we
got
know.
like pundits everywhere,
Yeah.
Talk Sport and bloody Match of the Day, is talking about, Declan Rice needs to go here and needs to go there and stuff. So yeah, look, we all know he's going to go, and I've got nothing against Declan. Look, I don't think he's ever down tools for West Ham. I don't think he's ever not tried. Um,
Mm,
I think people are getting on his back more so at the moment because we're having a bad season and people are a bit pissed off and a bit more short-tempered about
yeah.
everything that's happened at West Ham, and so some fans now are starting to turn on him a bit. um, like, I know he wasn't great away at Tottenham, but geez, any player can have, a bad day. But I think over the course of the season, he's still been one of our best. And
Mm.
I think like I've never seen him not trying or not giving. I've never felt like he didn't give a shit on the pitch.
No, I think he does care. I will say that. I've never once looked at him and gone, I don't think he cares. I just think some of the things he has said this season, right? If you look at it and you uh, England were at the World Cup and he had the interview, and the interview turned around and basically said like he wants to go and play Champions League football, he wants to go and win trophies, and that's our captain saying that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. I think a lot of people have lost respect for him for that. Like listen, I respect him as a player. I think he's an excellent player. I think as a person, I think he could have handled this differently. Really could. He could have shut this down and said, right, I'm not interested. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here to the end of the season. That's it. My focus is fully on West Ham. Sometimes I just think he should be media trained.
Yeah. Look, he was too honest, and
yeah,
I think that's just how Declan is. I think if you ask Declan like a straightforward question, he'll probably give you a straightforward answer. And yeah, it probably was ill-advised. It did rub a lot of fans up the wrong way, and I understand why. I just don't get as bent out of shape about those things generally. So, I mean, he didn't say anything I didn't already know or that any of the fans didn't already know. But yeah, I think it definitely would have been better if he said what you just said. It would have been a better look. But I didn't get too bent out of shape with it. I don't want to beat him with that stick all season, to be honest.
I agree.
Because ultimately, all I care about is that he goes out on the pitch and does his best. And to be fair, I think he's always done that. And I think he'll continue for the rest of this season to give everything. I think you'll see him go out tomorrow against Forest and give it all, and do his absolute best to get us the 3 points. And at the end of the day, that's all I really care about, is that he's out there giving everything, the same as any other player. And look, to be honest, when he goes at the end of the season, wherever that happens to be, I'll wish him well. But like you, I'll be relieved that the saga's over and done with, and we don't have to keep talking about this anymore.
I agree.
Constant links, because we're going to have it right till the end of the season now. Links to here and links to there, and it's getting a bit tiring because you just get sick of hearing it and sick of talking about it. And I'll be glad when it's over. And to be completely honest, as good a player as he is, and I think Dec's a brilliant player. He's not as irreplaceable as people think.
I actually do agree on that. I do look at players and I think if we can get some decent money for him, well, one player doesn't make a squad, but if you can get 5 or 6 very good players in the squad, you got a decent side then. You know what I'm saying? Before I get to this comment to round it up, Tommy. Yeah. God bless our legend of our club and national side. 13-year anniversary of his death, of Sir Bobby Moore. Yeah, it is. Today is the day that he's no longer with us. That's one player who was just
30th anniversary. But,
30th.
Yeah, he mistyped, but 30th anniversary. Unfortunately, lost him to bowel cancer, and just club legend and the only guy who's got his statue outside Wembley, and rightly so.
Such a shame, mate. Really is. I never experienced him playing, obviously, but my granddad did. My dad did, and they said he was a Rolls Royce of a player. And do you know what it is? Like West Ham did treat him bad towards the back end, but as a player on the pitch, he was excellent, mate. He was fantastic. And I can't praise.
And he was he had everything that a fan base would want in a player. Really, came through the academy, West Ham boy, captained the team, was world class, captained England, and to a World Cup. I mean, Jesus, still the only player to have done that. Just a fabulous person, and as a club icon and ambassador, really, and the player we probably look up to the most in our history. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything more from a player, really, to come through the academy, West Ham fan, like I say, world class player,
World Cup winner,
classy defender, World Cup winner, Joe, world class person. What an ambassador, like for West Ham, just amazing guy, like in every way.
I agree, mate. I agree, and that's a perfect way to round it up on today's video. Tommy, thank you very much, mate, for coming on. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow about 5:20, 5:30 UK time. Will West Ham get the win that we need? I'm nervous, to say the least. I think if we set up in a negative way, we get a negative result. I want to see attacking football. I want to see West Ham win this game and win it well. The boys need to perform. The manager needs to perform. And the fans need to get behind all the boys tomorrow at the LS. It's huge. It really is. And if we don't get no points tomorrow, then I fear the worst, really, if I'm being honest. Like, as each game goes by, I fear the worst. Please do smash a like on the video, as I always ask, and please do subscribe to the channel, please. It'll go a long way. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Have a good Friday. And before I go tonight, 3 or 4 minutes before 8 o'clock, Blackpool Rancho, my dog, is running. So if you like your greyhound racing and you want to have a little punt, going back to Rancho, because I fancy him tonight to do some damage. Anyway, from me to you, take care and all the best.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.